file is broken down and bound in a book, the pertinent information, and it gets given to the client. They get all the originals. They get the original contract, they get everything. I've got a copy of it in Dropbox, probably 5 copies of it in my email, and Patty has a copy of everything. I don't need to keep that paper. I just don't need to keep it. And so it simplifies my life. I use spreadsheets all the time, Excel, numbers. Google has spreadsheets if you don't have Microsoft Office. Numbers on your iPad. I keep a productivity pipeline going on my iPad all the time, so that, you know, if I'm just trying to think of, okay, so where am I at in my goals, I can just look at my pipeline and say, okay, how am I doing? I'll make adjustments, add what's going on, or add new clients to it, so that I can see and landmark, how am I doing? How am I doing? Wow. I mean, I was just shocked. You know, the summer drags on a bit and we kind of fall out of our routine. When I went in to take care of my pipeline, I was shocked at where I was and thrilled at the same time. So keep track of it. I use Dropbox, and actually I use Box.net for my personal stuff. Creates mobility. Again, create a naming system for your files. Shannon knows that she's going to open a client file. It's going to say agreements. There's going to be a folder for agreements, contracts, inspections, title, correspondence, and she knows that when she needs the copy of the executed contract, it's going to be inside the contract folder. It's going to say contract underscore property address underscore X. That means it's executed, it's signed, it's a signed piece of paper. So she doesn't have to look around for things. Inspections are always going to be in the inspections folder. Title documents are always going to be in the title folder. She doesn't have to worry. When we close that file out, she's going to scan that whole paper file back to me, so we have a 4th copy of everything. I don't have to have all that paper, okay? TAR right now has been sending out emails called the Paperless Agent. They're offering discounts on classes that you can take with them to help become a paperless agent. There's, I think, a webinar series that you can take that's actually free, so you may want to consider that if you need help with being paperless. Creativity is your biggest asset. And I would have to say, if I look at how I've approached my business and growing my business from nothing, I would say creativity is my biggest asset. You need to steal like an artist, okay? It's an excellent book by Austin Kleon. 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative. There is nothing new under the sun. There's no original anything out there. Steal like an artist. Make it your own. Do not steal and copy from your colleagues, because they will know. You need to envision, you know, I need to see a flyer coming out. I really like that, but how would I like it more? How can I make that mine? How can I do something creative with that idea? Live in creativity. It's a great place to be. Get help. Put the right people in the right places at the right time. Create an environment where your admin will never want to leave. Shannon's never going to leave, ever. She loves it. She loves being the boss. She's the boss. Compensate them well. Take care of them. Value them. See them as a valuable asset and a contributing member to your business structure. Don't dump garbage on them. Don't be a vacant, absent leader to that person. They need you there. You know, and again, the mileage on the car thing, how many of you, like, really, if you sat back and you said, I wonder, like, I'm here every day, all day, aren't I? I mean, if you've ever been in this office, my car's in that parking lot. And I'm here Monday through Friday, 9:30, sometimes 10. But I'm here sometimes 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock. You need to show up if you want to get paid. You know, and it can be difficult if you're trying to manage money and maybe you don't office, but you need to show up. You know, yesterday I came home and I said to my husband, did Regan do the dishes? He said, no, I did. Because you know what, when I got up yesterday, my bed wasn't made and the dishes weren't done, and you know what, it was time to go to work anyways. I want a clean house, but you know what, I have a business. I run a business, and that is after work stuff. This is the type of business where we can really get sidetracked. We need to avoid procrastination and be very, very disciplined in what we do. You need to also leverage yourself out of the mundane, time-sucking tasks. That's why my husband did the dishes, okay? You need to have people around you that can look after things that are not income-producing activities, okay? Being proactive and intentional. A mindful life is worth the effort. Drifted is the state of having your mind anywhere but the present moment. Locked in thoughts about what you're going to do later, about something someone else said, about something you're stressing about or angry about. The state of mind where we're lost in our smartphones and social media, we're distracting ourselves because we're distracted, but we need to be more distracted. The place where agents think they are working, but they're really not. That place is called drift. A mindful agent stays clear of drift. Ask yourself, are you reactive to situations, or are you proactive? Sorry about my spelling again. The proactive agent often avoid pitfalls. They're constantly forecasting what's going to happen. The reactive agent is mired in pitfalls. One crisis is ending and another is starting. Don't be that agent. Be curious. This is right tied with, it's just so tied with creativity. You need to be curious. And if you know me, you know I'm just so curious about everything. I just want to know it. I just want to figure it out. I want to take it apart. Too often we're stuck in our ways and we think we know how things should be, how people are. Instead, be curious, find out, experiment. Let go of what you think you know. When you start a new project or venture, if you feel the fear of failure, instead of thinking, oh no, I'm going to fail, or oh no, I don't know how this will turn out, try thinking, let's see, let's find out. And then there isn't the fear of failure, but the joy of being curious and finding out. Learn to be okay with not knowing. Just be curious. Also, very, very, very important, watch your resistance. When you try to do something uncomfortable, or try to give up something you like or are used to, you'll find resistance. But you can just watch the resistance and be curious about it. Watch your resistance to things that annoy you, a loud sound that interrupts you, your concentration, for example. It's not the sound that's the problem, it's your resistance to the sound, okay? The same is true of resistance to new ideals or business plans. I hear a lot of agents, a lot of times say, oh, well, I do it like this. Well, you know, you need to be curious. You need to be very curious because the real estate market is changing. It has changed since I started. The technology that's available since I started real estate way back in 2008, which was yesterday, is completely different. How we're doing business is completely different. So you need to be curious and you need to watch your resistance. Here's some great books, by the way. I love to read. I'm a big reader. This is one of the best books that I have read in a long time. In addition to being curious and creative and watching your resistance, let yourself be inspired. It's okay. You have time for it. Trust me. You know, a lot of people, oh, I don't have time to read. You have time to be inspired, to think better thoughts, to do better things, and find better ways. This book is called 3 Feet from Gold. And it's just an interesting book about turning obstacles into opportunities, and it's just such a rewarding book to read. Dave Linegar is featured in this book, and there's just really great reading in here. And it's all based on Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is another incredible book to read. The Science of Getting Rich. And those two books are free, by the way. Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich. They're all over the internet, free PDFs. The Power of Full Engagement. Oh, this is a good one. If you're a drifter, this is the one for you. Managing your energy, not your time. Think about that. Why do we procrastinate? We're tired, we're hungry, we're thirsty. You know, managing your energy, which is affected by all those things, is a key component to high performance. this is an excellent book, and these books, by the way, are repeated over and over and over in, top reading lists. And I'm just going to end with this book. This is the book of all books. It's the book of answers, okay? So sometimes you just don't know, and if you have one of these handy, it'll give you the answer. Just laugh about it.
It's like the 8-ball.
So that's everything that I had. Thank you all for coming, and I appreciate all of you folks as well. Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we are opening the floor. You can direct any questions at any of the panelists, and we'll see what they have to say. Okay, I'll go first. Ivan and Natalia, you guys have an outstanding app that you use to collect contact data at open houses. Would you share that briefly with us?
Yes. Can I borrow your, can you plug in the HDMI into the connection there? Does that work?
To the iPad?
To that connector.
To yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalia, you have to stand over there because the cord is super short.
I'll show you. So whenever you have an open house, one of the most challenging things is getting people to give you their information. Everybody wants to just browse through the house, look at everything. There's a lot of got a lot of curious neighbors, some buyers that may be good leads, but more times than not, either they don't want to write it down, or you cannot decipher their writing once they leave, or they give it to you, you're trying to write it down, and you misspell whatever it is that they said. So this app solves a lot of those problems.
Only when it works.
Okay.
And feel free just to describe it to us, Natalia.
Well, anyway,
I'm sorry.
no, it's not. It's called Open Home Pro. I'll walk around it. I'll walk around the room with it. So, just from here. So, it's called Open Home Pro. It costs, I think it's $14.99 right now. And let's say you download it, create a listing, which is very easy. Input some basic information, price, square footage, input a couple photos. It geotags it, and once you're ready to begin the open house, just click here, begin open house, and you set up your iPad on the kitchen counter. Is typically the best place to put it, and you greet your visitor, hi, and so. If you wouldn't mind, the homeowner has asked us, or my seller has asked me to please keep a log of the visitors, or if you don't mind, please provide your email. And all they have to do is click there, and they would enter their name, their email, continue. It will ask phone number. They can provide it if they want to, but they will not get stuck. You can tell them it's optional. Continue. Are you working with an agent? And they can click yes or no. And then how do they learn about the open house? Continue. Thank you for visiting. Don't ask me why, but people are much more willing to share their info this way, and will provide more accurate information this way. Why? I don't know. I think they like playing with the iPad. Some of them. Maybe it works. It works better than the old sheet. I think they feel safer than leaving a sheet around. They think it's going to be just secretly stored, and I don't know. I like it. People like it. It's not very common that I get people that don't want to, that refuse absolutely to enter their information. And that's all. And one of the neat things is that once you're done with the open house and you just click, there's a button to end the open house. It sends you number one, it sends you an email with all your leads and their information. So a list of names, emails, and it sends them an auto email thanking them for stopping by at the open house. So they can reply to that and get in touch with you that way.
And I can just add too, because I did I really was, I mean, I had a waiting list of agents who wanted me to work on their open houses. I always said, because the house is occupied, the seller asks that you register. Or I'd say, because the house is vacant, the seller asks that you register. Every time. So, I mean, you know, really, they should register if they're gonna be in the house with you. And I have this app as well, and it's excellent. I don't do as many open houses as I used to because I'm too busy, but if you're somebody that needs business, go into the MLS, look at the price band that's selling right now, find which agents in your office have listings and contact them and say, is there any reason I couldn't hold an open house for you?
Always
They
say
would
yes.
be happy.
Always say yes.
The important thing is what Lauren has on her signs is her name and her phone number. So even if they don't get to the open house,
They
it's
can get me.
advertised.
And I want to tell you, just to add on this, the value of an open house. Now, this was earlier in the year that I calculated this, okay? But I worked an open house for Joan Imperato back in 2009, and I met a family. They were just awesome. They had kids the same age as my kids, and we really hit it off, and I sold them a home. It was a relocation. It was my first relocation file. I got into their network, and all of a sudden I started getting relocation buyers from this company, which is a non-referral fee company, okay? So I don't have to pay 40% to work with these buyers. They all love me. It was even better because a lot of them are Canadian. Of course, I've got a lot of experience with cross-border moving. But as of this spring, I calculated that one meeting, that one open house generated $87,000 in gross commission revenue spin-off from that one person. Now, since that, I've closed about, well, I'd say another 12,000. And I think it was another, it was, what was it, 59 that we split there on Redwood? On them. I've got another one in escrow right now for 15,000. Oh, and by the way, I sold a $1.3 million listing this summer off of that. That's not in those numbers. That was a $40,000 commission, and I sold that house twice. So I sold it to the buyer, and then we resold it. So I don't even know what's the number at. One activity, one proactive and intentional activity resulted in that business. Yes.
Lauren, I know that a lot of agents in probably both of our offices, or all three of our offices, reach a point to where they're at that stage of saying, you know, I really need some help. I'm not sure what I need to do. I don't know when to add that. And I'm just curious if you would kind of expand a little bit on when you and Tammy made a decision to bring
you know,
Shannon on
it
your
really
team.
came about last year after San Marcos. Is that where we went last year?
The convention.
The big takeaway for me at that convention was it was time. I needed some help. In addition to Shannon, by the way, I also have a virtual assistant who does other tasks. And it was just the time that we really needed somebody to do some things. And there were things that Tammy and I were doing that weren't really coming together real well. You know, we were still flying a little bit by the seat of our pants. And I'm just, if you know me, you know that I just live in abundance. It's just, somebody's gonna call me the minute I go to my office. You know, I have this joke that I go to the Lexus dealership, and every time I go there I get like 3 buyers. Whether I'm just sitting there and they call me or walk up to me or whatever, but I had kind of said to Tammy, it's time, and I just really asked for that. And Shannon actually called me, and she had got my name from a past client, and it all worked out. But we approached it very cautiously because, of course, you know, when you're paying somebody's wages, you have a responsibility to them. That means you pay them before you pay yourself. And, you know, you have to make sure that you have a good revenue stream coming in to handle that. One of the things Tammy and I sat down and discussed immediately is what is the operating reserve required for each one of us. And I maintain an operating reserve. Never go into it. Never, ever, ever. But that's there, it's my little insurance policy, in case, hey, I don't have closing this month, or what have you. So we talked about that. When we sat down with Shannon, it was very important that we had a very open discussion as to what we needed, what she could offer, how much flexibility she needed, how much time did we need. You have to have that open-ended discussion. You have to have it. That's how you retain people who want to stay and work with you. You do not want to have turnover in this business. It can really derail you. So I think that, you know, when you were thinking about an assistant, I think I was around 87,000 in commission at the time when I said I think it's time. I just didn't think I had what it took to get to the next place without hands, without extra help. Did that help?
Well, I know this, I know that once that happened, and I told you guys both, well, all three of you last year, when we had our end of the year awards program, that both of you guys entered into our top 20, which is the approach that we take in our Kingwood office. And I know you guys work hard and you've got all these plans, but I know a ton of that was attributed to bringing a really
Absolutely.
super person on to help you guys do what you need to do, and I think it's just made such a difference.
Well, and one of the very first tasks that Shannon was given was write your job description. It took her like 9 months. You know, she doesn't work fast. No, I'm just kidding.
We kept her busy.
We kept her busy. We kept her busy, and you know what? I wanted to write her job description. I wanted her to write her job description because we have a development path for Shannon, and you know, we need to be in a situation where we can duplicate her if we have to down the road. Again, it's that automation. It's the creating the system. You know, I run a business. I have a corporation. I have payroll. I don't get to a closing and then go to the bank and cash that money. That's not mine. It goes into my business. I don't get that money until it's sitting in direct deposit in my bank account at home. Shannon's part of that whole automated structure. You know, you have to have the people in place. You have to have the systems in place. And, you know, it's frightening at first. But once you get there, I mean, it just, why did I struggle like this?
Other questions for any of the panelists?
I want to thank Chris for his little deal there. I have tried so hard to get Lee from Lee Street. That's a good idea. So I just need your help with the technical part of that. I'm not a techie.
I'll email that to you guys too. I don't know if I guess Frank will email it out, but you guys, I'll send everybody that PowerPoint so you can see it step by step, and I'm always available.
Can I ask about the Genius scan? That sounds really amazing.
Yeah, I use my phone. You know how sometimes, and I suggest it to clients, they have to get something back to us and they say, I don't have a scanner and it's just one page. I say, take a picture of it, download this app, it's called Genius Scan, and it lets you, if you take a photo, it's not a really good image that you can use as a document. When you scan it with an app such as Genius Scan, it lets you fix the corners, actually lifts the corners up, straightens the corners. It makes everything square, cleans it all up, makes the background whiter, the lettering, you know, darker, and then you can either share it as a PDF or share it as an image, JPEG, or whatever it is that you need it as. You can email it, you can upload it directly into your Dropbox if you have Dropbox on your phone.
It's a great way to get a seller's disclosure back from the seller.
Absolutely. Any document that you need to get to somebody quickly
That is
or
awesome.
back from someone quickly. Yeah.
I had to use that app at a title company just a while ago because I'm real picky about the option fee. I want it in the seller's hands or the agent's hands, because I don't want, and it was an agent that I hadn't worked with before. I didn't want to put my buyer at risk. So he said, leave it at the title company. He insisted. This is over in Tomball. And I'm like, I don't feel good about this. I said, I'll tell you what, I will only leave it at the title company if when they contact you, you immediately sign the option fee. So I took a picture of it. I converted it to a PDF. He got the email that the option fee was there. I sent it to him through DocuSign Inc. on my iPhone. Signed it, done, we're happy. So, it can really help you out in a pinch. The trick is with these apps is you have to know the path that they work. Take a picture, send it to Genius Scan or open Genius Scan and import the picture, send it off to Dropbox or send it off to DocuSign. You just have to figure those little things out, and it just takes a little bit of practice. These things are all very intuitive.
And I guess I would want to add that no matter how many gadgets we add to the business, we started in 2006 completely from out of the industry, out of the state, didn't know anybody, didn't know anything. And back to today, right now, proud to say, Friday, Ivan was just announced number 9 for the state, Remus of Texas, number 9 statewide, 5 for Houston, number 1 statewide for all Hispanic realtors. So really, how did we do it? A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot for years. A lot of them. Yes.
It takes time.
Worse in his underwear now, but for months at a time.
So that's how he does it.
Months. Yeah, for many months, if not years, he worked 7 days a week for 12, 14, 16, I don't know how many hours a day. Very, very hard. Very dedicated. So you have to be willing to struggle and to work hard. And that's the only way. There is no shortcuts. There's things that you can add to make your life easier, but there's no magic trick. It's just like with anything, you just have to work hard and like what you're doing.
As you were saying earlier, it's not rocket science. There are no secrets. People who are going to take your clients, they're going to take your clients whether you share your secrets or not. There are no secrets to the business. Simplicity with people. Be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to dress like you never dress. Okay? Some people like to wear polo shirts like you. I like to wear my long sleeve shirts, and I used to wear a tie and a blazer and be kind of overdressed all the time. And one day I had to show a house wearing linen shorts and a linen shirt on a Sunday. I was with my family, and an $800,000 buyer that I was working called me that day and said, Ivan, a house came on the market that you sent me over the automated service. I saw it and I like it, I want to see it today. So I show up on shorts, leather sandals or slippers, whatever, a nice shirt. I was dressed okay, but I was wearing shorts, and they thanked me for it. Ivan, thanks for the confidence, man. You look a lot, sometimes we feel a little bad or, whatever.
You look stiff.
And from that day on, I stopped dressing up so much. Sometimes I wear jeans and a nice pair of shoes and a nice little blazer. Just be yourself. You don't have to be different. The more relaxed you are, the lighter you are. I tend to throw a lot of jokes all the time, and I throw jokes at people all the time. So it makes them laugh, and it's no rocket science. Just be yourselves, relax, and technology, that is by far the best. They make technology so easy. I have a 3.5-year-old. We do, of course. She is the boss of this family. Let me tell you. Everybody, when she goes to bed, everybody at home goes. Everybody, even the 2 older kids, she can handle that iPad and those computers like you wouldn't believe. They make it so easy. use technology. It's easy. They made it kid-friendly. They didn't make it adult-friendly. Okay, they made it kid-friendly. Anybody could use it. 3-year-olds can use it. If you've only known technology for 2 years, you are a 2-year-old. You can do it.
And on that note, yeah, great job. Okay, so just a couple things to wrap up. First of all, since we have so many of you in the room, I can't help but give a commercial for next week, because we do this type of lead generation, lead conversion class every single Wednesday morning in this room at 10 o'clock, and a whole bunch of you have never been here before. And I have to tell you, next Wednesday, we're doing geographic farming, which in my opinion should be the second tier of an abundant agent's business if you're in this for the long term. We did this class yesterday in the Woodlands. It was standing room only. We had agents in the room making over $1 million a year who said it was a fantastic class. We're going to do it here next week at 10 o'clock. So if you've never attended any of our classes, I want to strongly encourage you to be here for that. Also, Buddy has done a little bit of baking. And how are we going to give those pies away, Buddy?
Well, we're going to do a drawing.
We're going to do a drawing, okay.
Isn't that something kind of different? that we've
Something
never done
different.
before?
Did everybody have business
All
cards?
right. If you'd like to be in,
Okay.
they're right here, freshly baked,
Okay.
nicely covered.
Where's our
Take with you,
drawing board?
Share, whatever.
Let's
Here's
make sure
the
everybody's having a
drawing
chance.
board, So if you've,
Okay. Anybody
you
have a
haven't
card
put
who's
it
not
in?
in? Anybody else? Okay. Who's going to draw? How
Draw
about our
out.
panelists? How many do we
draw it
have?
out. We have two.
We have two. So, okay, let me flip them around here a little bit. Natalia, you want to do us the honors? Reach in and draw out one. And just, there you go. Okay.
No, not that one.
No, not that one, he said.
There we go. Who do we have here? Joan Early.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to mix them up one more time
Here
here.
we go.
Okay. Now, Lorna, you want to reach in
I'll
there?
pull my own name.
Root around?
I'll pull
No?
my own name.
Okay.
I'm just too lucky.
Chris, are you in here?
I am in there.
All right, let's see if you get lucky and pull your own. You can't
I
look.
know, I'm looking at it.
Chris, pull my name, please.
All right, who we get?
I know.
You grab
Okay.
yours and you let it go.
Good, I?
Kathy, I tell.
All right. Okay, so we're going to have lunch here in just a moment, provided by Nicole. And Nicole, did you have anything? Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, let me
Okay.
just drop off just a few things for you guys. But basically, we're a sponsor of RE/MAX of Texas. I have been here before, and I have already signed up some of y'all. But we do help with the office. Thank you. Perfect. Oh, that's why it won't come out. But basically, we do a lot with RE/MAX of Texas. I know that I've seen you at
Yes.
Operation Lock and Load.
Yes.
I cover all of Texas, so and in Dallas as well. We were at convention this past year as well, and I saw a lot of y'all there. But basically, we provide a very personalized concierge service to you guys that gives you exclusive rates. It gives you bill credits, incentives. It allows for referral fees. But basically, I just want to be able to provide your clients and you with a good product, with a good service, somebody that they can trust, somebody that they can call anytime. I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know sometimes you get to a closing and they have forgotten to set up their utilities. Definitely feel free to give me a call. I can do same day, next day at no extra charge, as long as they have a smart meter, which 99.7% of properties in Center Point all have that. Makes it easy. Some of the other things that we also do, we do small commercial now. So if you guys have any commercial properties, I'd love to help you guys set up that. I'm not a commercial broker, so I don't make any commission. So I have no reason to hire or raise a rate. But right now, I know that you guys just received the rates. You'll see that they're low. There's $100 bill credits. It's for you and for your clients. We provide you a $3 residual bill credit for every month of the lifetime of that customer. But again, it's really making you guys the hero. I realize that you guys are busy selling the home, so I want to provide you guys with an added benefit. Something that this gives your client somebody that they can call to ask questions. I am not a hard seller. I am there to offer them a product. If it's not something that they're interested in, that's fine.
We got it.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
This
Oh,
is
that's something
different.
new, okay.
This just kind of goes over everything that I'm talking about. Also, what makes us really different from everybody else is that we don't have any added extra fees. We try to be very straightforward, very transparent. Our company is actually backed by Shell, and all of our board of executives, they all came from larger companies. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with Jeremy Pavelak. He used to run this program with Reliant. So they decided to start something that would make us different. So we don't nickel in on customers. We don't charge you week or monthly service fees. We don't charge you to call in. We really just try to make everything as simple as can be. We're very easy to use on the internet as well. Some of the other things that we do are out in the community. We have a program called Engaged, and we're allotted $5,000 a month to kind of use in the community. So, like I said, we do a lot of things with Operation Lock and Load. We've provided a few of the families 2 years of free electricity. We'll do it again this year. I personally do Run for the Rose, and I've had my company go ahead and sponsor my team for that. So if you guys have something individually, if you have something as a company, we'd love to get involved. I know that we've done burgers for babies in Dallas. We just did a chili cook-off for Dallas suburbs. Do you guys have any questions? Okay. Well, know that I do free bill comparisons or anything like that.